I'm Robin Ganzert with the American Humane Association. Today I'm here with John Bucher, Bucher Farms. John, we've had a great morning together. How are you?
Great, thanks Robin. It's nice to have you here.
Thank you so much for having us. Tell us a little bit about what it means to be a dairy farmer today.
You have to be a jack of all trades, but really the core still is the same. The goal is to produce high quality milk. The goal is to take care of your animals, take care of your land. If you do take care of your land and animals, they will take care of you.
I'd like to talk a little bit about the American Humane Certified process. I know that there are, as part of the standards, a requirement that standard operating procedures exist about how animals are treated humanely. And I know you have that for all of your workers here on the farm.
Absolutely, and we talk about it in our safety trainings. We talk about fundamental issues of just animal handling, the care around the animals, just protecting the animals for their safety and for my employees' safety, and just how to humanely treat the animals. I think every 5 years, we had a couple of times where we've had to be recertified with an inspector that came out, and it's a good thing, and it's really good too, I think, from a marketing standpoint, and just to reassure the consumers that we're doing things right here on the farm.
It's very important about reassuring consumers, and a top consumer issue for years has been tail docking, and American Humane has never permitted tail docking. And I'd like to have your thoughts about tail docking.
One of the reasons it's done is to keep the tail from getting dirty and basically getting the cow dirty also. We've developed a way of mitigating that a bit. We clean the cow's tail off and cut the long hair off of her tail. We don't alter the tail at all. And then it grows back, but during that time when it's short is when she's milking. And that allows her to keep her body clean because the tail is clean.
Right.
But we don't alter anything. We don't do any docking of the tail. We just clip the hair back.
And that meets the American Humane standard. Another area that American Humane Association is proud of regarding our certification standards is the specifications regarding indoor and outdoor access. And I notice here, of course, it's beautiful weather, a beautiful place to be, and your cows seem to enjoy a wonderful lifestyle. Can you talk a little bit about the specifications on indoor and outdoor?
Since converting to organic, we've had to comply with organic pasturing rules, which means that animals even have more access to the pasture and to the outdoors. The barns actually are useful. A lot of times we think of the barns and the indoors useful for the animals in the wintertime when it's cold or raining. Even though it's a nice day today, by the afternoon it'll warm up and the cows will seek shelter for the shade. The barns work just as well for the animals in the summertime, and that's where we have the most watering troughs, and that's where the shade is. So they get out and are able to get out in the morning, like we saw this morning. We were out walking through the animals out in the pasture. They got to lay out there and relax, and then they start wandering in about this time as it starts getting warmer, and by midday they're in the barn and maybe eating another round at the bunk, and it's actually better for the animal that they stay comfortable. They're not out in the hot sun. Cows have a very high body temperature, so they have a hard time getting rid of the heat on their body. So warm days can be really difficult for cattle. Shade and water are really important.
Can you talk a little bit about the transitional barns that I found so remarkable, and then a little bit about the feeding so there's no crowding at feeding time?
For our calves, we have a transition pens where they go from what we call our nursery individual plastic hutches, give them a good start, and we can watch them and monitor them individually. And then they go to a smaller transition pen where there's about 8 to 10 animals, and then we kind of see how they grow, and the ones that maybe have a faster growth rate, they can move on to the bigger group pens. The ones that maybe are a little bit smaller and need a little extra care, we can hold them back, and they can be in another group based on size, and so there's no competition for food and shelter. It allows that flexibility and allows us to grow healthy calves for the whole herd. We have individual calving stalls in our maternity ward. We have a group of cows that are close to calving on one side of the barn, and then we can move them as soon as we see them starting in labor. We have a place for them to lay down. We have a place for them to eat. So it gives us flexibility. It gives us a lot of options for the animals depending on their health.
So I'd love to learn a little bit about Bucher wines.
Yeah, thank you. We actually diversified into planting wine grapes. We're in our farm here in Healdsburg is in the heart of the Russian River Valley, which is one of the prime appellations for growing Pinot Noir and Chardonnay. In 2011, my wife Diane and I started producing our own wines with the 2011 harvest. Released our first wines in 2013. So these are our 2015 Rosé, 2015 Unoaked Chardonnay, and our 2014 Pinot Noir.
John, today's been a day of wonderful moments of celebrating what it is to be humane on America's dairy farms. So I thank you for being a leader in this space. And I have to ask you one final question. What does it mean to you to be humane?
Well, it kind of goes with the overarching theme, as we kind of mentioned it before, is being humane and taking care of my animals in a humane manner. It's part of doing business. It's part of my love for animals, and it's this underlying theme of, if we take care of the animals, we take care of the land that they're on, those animals and that land will take care of us, and hopefully we'll be able to continue farming here and for future generations also.
That's wonderful. Well, this is Robin Ganzert. I'm here with John Bucher of Bucher Farms, and it's been a wonderful morning celebrating what it is to be humane.